Everybody, it's Monday and today is April the 20th? 20th, I guess it is. It's 20th. All right, so what I want to talk today about is something special. I was watching the Pope's Mass last week and I happened to notice that all the candles around the papal altar. And I thought about our candles here. Now, we have two kinds of candles. We have the oil candles that we use in the big church. Actually, they're a poor substitute, but we use them because it's cheaper, and they last a little longer, and a little less sloppy. But the rule of thumb from the church is that church candles are supposed to be made of 51% beeswax. Not anything artificial, 51% beeswax. So if you go into the old church in St. Thomas, and you see the candles around the altar and the candles on the high altar, they're all 51 beeswax. If you got your throat blessed on the feast day of St. Blaise, you also got blessed with candles that were 51% beeswax. But those candles are interesting because it's on the way that candles burn. Now, if you notice over in the church, in the old church, when the big candles are lit, there's these gigs, these things that go on top of them candles. These are called tracers. And the job of the tracer is to make sure that the candle burns straight. If this isn't on that candle and the candle's burning, the candle starts to get a little sloppy. What happens is the wax begins to melt over the top of the candle and makes its way down the side. And especially that happens if the candle's not sitting in the candle holder that's straight. What he does, this guy here keeps the candle just burning properly, and it burns straight down. Now you can make an analogy to that and you say, well, Jesus said we are to be the light of the world. So in a real sense, you and I are intended by God's grace and the power of His Spirit to be the light of our Lord to others, which means we're nothing more than just candles. When you're a kid and you're a baby and when you're baptized, you have a baptismal candle. Some of you have those for your kids. But the point of the whole thing is you go through your life that the grace of God is supposed to shine to affect and touch the lives of other people. What does this thing represent? It represents the church. That's the church. And when the church surrounds my life, the light of Christ burns. And nothing overflows. Nothing is snuffed out. It burns the way God intends it to be. And the grace of the church, what surrounds the light, are these things that we call our sacraments. Our communion, our confirmation, our reconciliation. It's anything that's affected to church. It's holy water, it's ashes, it's palm. It's your Divine Mercy Chaplet, it's your flame of love, It's your little pocket of holy cards, maybe, that you pray or have each day. It's those things that are stuffed in your prayer book. It's your rosary bead. It's all that kind of stuff. And the more and more that you use that stuff, the more and more the light of Christ burns brightly, but it burns straight in your life. And it's reflected from the time you're born to the time you mature to the time you die. It's all this thing. That's what the church is. A lot of people today, they don't use church the way they used to, It's not that people deny the existence of God. They just say, well, things are going real good right now. We just don't really need, all that church stuff. Don't be stupid. Don't be foolish. You need it. It's what the good Lord set up for us to help us to make our way through God so that our life becomes more and more reflective of His. So next time you go to the old church, you have a chance, just take a look at one of these things. It burns on the top of the candles around the altar. And know that that's the presence of the church. And who's the candle? It's you and me. May the light of Christ not only burn, but burn properly in our life, so that everything we do, every action in our life, reflects the goodness and the grace of God, and will be reflected in our whole personality. Okay, everybody, we'll check you out tomorrow. God bless you.